Tuku, 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 tu. Am I live? Am I on? How did Z Storage get on already? I just went live. How could that even be? That was quick. 9:02. I just went live right now. How did you comment? Oh, I was trying to figure out how to get to my live videos. I haven't done a live on YouTube in a minute. But people been screaming my name over here. The only reason I'm doing this live video is because people are sending me other screenshots of other people talking about me on YouTube. So I figured, shoot, I'll come over here and do a live video and give y'all some real updates. So Patrick Frazee he has about 3 hours from right now till 11:59. So 11:59 today, Patrick has to put in a motion for alternative suspect if he plans on using an alternative suspect in his defense. So when he goes to trial, if he wants to defend himself with what's up, Open Minds, Jamie Texas Chick, Z Storage in the house. So if he goes to trial, they want to make sure that they know what he's going to drop down as a defense in an alternative suspect situation. Now, let me tell you something. This is kind of a power move on the judge's portion to say you have to do that. I'm gonna answer that. Show me Mo Graves. Was she ever found? No. Kelsey has not been found. What's up, Jamie? Kelsey has not been found, and I don't think she's going to be found unless, as a last result, someone's holding that out. Thank you, Mary. I don't know what video I'd put on Facebook, but I know that people be screaming my name over here on YouTube, so I figured, oh, they're fiending. They're fiending for some dad with the phone on YouTube. Somebody should have just told me earlier. Y'all didn't have to get some other YouTubers talking about me. I will come over here and do an update just like I will on Facebook. I'm wearing my first ever Woodland Park Underground shirt. This was given to me by J is for Justice, actually. They got daddy issues. Yes. Mucho daddy issues. Patrick didn't file it yet. Got an hour and 50 minutes. 10:59. No. 2 hours and 50 minutes. Somebody get on the horn and file either a motion or Patrick's going in with no defense that we know of. Now, I want to talk about this for a second because I talked about this a little bit on Facebook, but it's interesting to find out if the judge is flexing here, or if, let's say, 3 days from now, someone slaps something on the defense's table that points at an alternative suspect. You don't think the judge is going to say, oh, they're going to turn in a defense on alternative suspect, and since you passed the deadline at September 16th, you can no longer put that out there. Well, here's the deal. The defense, the court system is set up to protect Patrick. And what I mean by that, it's set up to protect his rights. And if they were to tell him, oh, you can't bring forth a defense of an alternative suspect because you didn't put that motion in on the September 16th date, although the judge may not like it, the judge is not going to deny a motion that's put in the last hour to save Patrick's butt. If he puts in the last hour a motion to point at someone else and they present evidence that is, credible evidence, they're going to take that, okay? They're not going to say, oh, he missed September 16th, he's out. No, what this does is will delay. We're not ready to file a motion. We didn't get there, so we're going to take some time. If people think this is going to court this month or this year, you got another thing coming. You know how I know? it would be it probably is against all astrological predictions that you could arrest a man in December and try him for the murder before the following December. I would think that in the history of Teller County, murder trials have never been started that quickly. Everything that Patrick has done has shown a very calculated, very timely, very patient man. He's not going to rush to trial. He's not going to allow his defense to rush to trial unless his defense knows something you and I don't know. And there is a very big possibility, that Patrick, here's what I want to explain. Patrick shared some things with Mary Longmire that he wanted to take back, okay? He must have also shared some things with his defense. Now, whether or not he has shared something with his defense around some alternative stories, that's going to be the interesting one. Because if they had some sort of evidence that cleared Patrick, they would bring that forward now and avoid trial. It's 9:13 right now, which means in 2 hours and 40 something minutes, 2 hours and 40 something minutes, he has to file by 11:59 our time, which that is 2 hours and 40 some odd minutes from now. The idea that he would file in the witching hour is unless it's just a political, like for the press scheme. We reported earlier on Facebook today that as of when we reported, there had been no filings. All the news organizations waited till 5 p.m. to report, because they have to wait until they close the doors, and then they can say what I had already told you, that the news report had come in, or that our sources had said they hadn't come in, and if they hadn't come in at that time, they probably weren't going to come in today. Now, they can file email. So they can just send a PDF form straight to the judge's inbox, and the judge is going to see that, and then tomorrow when he looks at it and says, oh, they filed at 11:59, we'll make a ruling on this. But all they had to do is file the motion. The judge doesn't have to rule on that motion. He doesn't even have to accept that motion. They would just put in a motion for alternative suspect. They would show the evidence in which they had to point to this alternative suspect, and then that would be part of their defense. The DA would then be privy to what they were going to point to. But what the DA, my biggest question is, has the defense spoken with the DA's witness? Have they been able to sit down with KK? Because at the last hearing I was at, the DA had not been speaking to... What's up, Bobby? I know y'all miss me on YouTube. I might have to start coming back over here to YouTube for my home lives. I can't really do live on the road with YouTube because YouTube just ain't stable enough for some reason. It doesn't work good enough. But I'm glad y'all are here. Thanks for coming by. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And make sure to go over to Facebook, Dad with a Phone, and give me a review. Those reviews really do help. A lot of things are changing on Facebook, and the reviews are becoming a big, especially because everyone who reviews has to go through a verification process on your Facebook, and so they're listen, I had to send IDs in. Facebook has now ID'd me through passport and through driver's license. Because we are getting into a form of public figure numbers, that they're like, hey, you reach a lot of people, we need to verify that you're a real person. and people been trying to clone my accounts. People been trying to, they've been putting up fake accounts. So make sure to go over to Facebook and give me a review. Thank you for watching me on YouTube. If you're not on Facebook right now, don't get on Facebook. They're watching you. Don't get on Facebook. Stay on YouTube. I'll come back to YouTube. Man, it's crazy. Anyway, I just rambling now because I haven't been here for a minute. Get to give some love to the peeps and read these sweet things like from Judy. We missed you. I have no Facebook anymore. See, Judy? See, that's what I need to hear is these are people without Facebooks, and I need to hear that. Been out of the loop. Glad to catch a live with you. Whoever Magu5 is. Rose is in the house. There's only one DWAP. Us kids love our dad. There you go. They're going to give it to them all. So they will have to wait till the last minute. They could wait till the last minute. If they waited till the last minute, there would be a political advantage to that, I guess. There's got to be some advantage to waiting to the last minute in the hour. Yeah, don't forget us in here. I didn't forget you, Z Storage. Sweet wheat. We did just need another one now. Sweet wheat. Trekker 3. What did y'all do? Oh, Trekker, I hope you had a great... Oh, vacay. Gotcha. I want to go on vacation. I like you because what? You are honest with a big heart. Thank you, Judy. Don't forget us over here. I don't have Facebook. All right, Z Storage, you must be scared of that Zuckerberg. Michael, no Facebook here either. All right. Shoot, what do I need to catch y'all up on then? All these non-Facebook people. The thing is you don't have to have a Facebook to go look at Dad with the phone. You can actually go watch all my videos without a Facebook. You can. You just got to go to Dad. Just Google Dad with the phone, and you can go see that page without even liking it. You can keep up. It's not going to send you notifications and stuff, but you don't have to have a Facebook. So what are they supposed to be filing? I don't ever go on Facebook. Okay, so the file today that they had till the 16th to file a motion of alternative suspect. In other words, if they were going to defend Patrick on the notion that they're going to point the finger at someone else, then they need to file that motion and let the state know that they're going to file that motion, because the state needs to be prepared to counter that. Now, this is counterintuitive in my mind, because the defense doesn't have a burden of proof. They don't have to prove someone else did it to prove Patrick's innocence. The state has to prove Patrick did it, and then the defense can defend by saying, well, actually, this is what happened, and this is why we know what happened. What the state is doing, though, is if Patrick is going to point the finger at KK or at someone else, and they look at the evidence and they're like, oh, shit, his story's better than her story. Why don't we go with him and we'll squash her? This is where people... this is where the deal would be very, very pencil thin. They could actually, the defense, I think, or the state could actually take their deal back from KK if Patrick was able to point evidence with greater authority, in a sense, had a better story about what KK did and how he helped. There is a possibility it could swing that way. The problem with that is he hasn't said anything. Somebody trying to sneak in on a live video. Yeah. She's in there. But no, you leave her alone though right now. Why? Because she's busy. What's she doing? What do you think she's doing? Okay, I'm on a live video, and you, what are you doing? What time is it? About time for you to go to bed. Why don't you go brush your teeth, okay? Brush your teeth and I'll come put you in bed. So it's muddy. This case was messy since it began. Oh yeah. This case is so messy that again, I know people are going to get on to me. People get upset at me when I talk about this. But you have to understand, especially you non-YouTubers, you may not be aware of this. Woodland Park PD has let go the head investigator that was on this case. There are a few other Woodland Park PD officers that are no longer with Woodland Park PD, and that were involved in this case. And so you have to understand that this was a messy case from the get-go, from when Woodland Park took over to when Teller County got involved and to when now CBI is involved. And so you know, there's a lot of things that have happened, and that's what the defense is betting on. The defense is betting on officer turnover. The defense is betting on officer mistakes. You have to understand something. Police reports are full of lies and holes. Like affidavits and test how they write things and what they say. They're full of lies. I know this firsthand. So, I mean, I have some Woodland Park police affidavits and reports that are full of lies. And I have video evidence contrary to what they say, you know. And so, the same thing with Patrick's case. The same thing with every case that goes. The longer the period of time from when, see, now normally when someone's facing something like this, they draw it out, but they bond out, so they're not in jail, right? The difference is they put Patrick on a no bond because of the kind of crime. Normally he would have maybe been out on the streets this entire time, and they would have drawn it out longer and longer. He would have been harassed more. He's a lot better protected in jail, and that's another reason they do it, because they know that if they would have let him out on bond, one, he could have skipped bond. The problem is he has a lot of ties here. Mama's here, brother's here, sister's here. He's got a baby that he loves, all of these things. So they didn't give him a bond, so now he's having to sit this time out in jail, which actually works for his advantage, because if for some reason he can flip this on someone else and they want to punish him. You brush your teeth? All right, I'm wrapping this up and I'm coming in there, girl. Okay, get us a book. He could have actually bonded out, been out of jail, but now that he hasn't been out of jail, if they find him guilty of a lesser crime, he'll get time served in the county jail. He'll also have a chance to appeal on a number of reasons, especially if they've been holding him on a no bond because they've been accusing him of this murder. But if they try to change that and say, okay, we're only going to go after you for the conspiracy to commit murder, that would have not been a no bond crime. You have to understand that he's going to have some legalities that we're not going to be, that hopefully his lawyers are privy to. But you have, if he's not innocent, but he's guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, like let's say he really did ask KK to commit this murder, and she went out and committed this murder, cleaned up this murder, and he just helped with a few things. He helped whatever, and he asked her to do this, like she says he did. If that's the fact, he may have a case in saying, listen, I should have been out on a bond a year ago. And you've held me illegally without bond because the charges you held me on were false based on a lie from the girl who actually did it. So you have to understand, the longer this stretches out, the better it is for him. It really is the better. The longer it takes to get to trial, the better it is for Patrick Frazee. And you have a right to a speedy trial, but they have waived those rights. And so this stretch out of, well, we may not have an alternative suspect as of 11:59 tonight. You can't find your mermaid?
Yeah.
Where do you think she is?
I looked in the back and she's not there.
Is she over there on the big couch?
Yeah, we'll look it.
All right. We'll find it. I'm coming right now. I'm out of here. This has been an update on YouTube with Dad with a Phone. if something changes, I'll come back and I'll squash some stuff. But as of right now, 9:30, Patrick Frazee has not filed a report or a motion of an alternative suspect. He has until 11:59 tonight to do that. If he doesn't, it's not the end of the world or the end of his defense. It just means he missed the deadline. But that all that does is stretch things out. If you understand the judicial system, it moves at a snail's pace because it wants to protect the defendant. It is there, the court system is there to protect the defendant. And if you use the court system where you don't take a plea deal and you don't talk, Patrick has been a prime example of you have the right to remain silent. Because even the little things he has said to like Mary Longmire, it wasn't that was real damning evidence. It was more of, dang, did I screw up my timelines? Dang, I was distressed. I was arrested. He'll have excuses for those testimonies. So the longer this thing stretches out, the better chance Patrick has. And that's scary, but that's just the truth. That's just the facts. And right now, he has yet to file a motion of alternative suspect. And the Judge Sales gave him today's was his deadline. People have asked me before, do I think he's guilty? I'm going to tell you one thing. He's either a dad who's being held and he's innocent, or he's a monster. He's one of the two. Guilty or innocent, I don't know. But he's a dad that's being held innocent, or he's a monster. That's your fry. I'm out.